You've probably heard so much about the west side of Colorado Springs. And you're probably wondering what makes it so cool, why should I check it out, and where exactly is it? That is exactly what we're going to check out here today. In this video, we're going to do a map video of where the best things are, the greatest places to live, where all the good food spots are, and where some really good hiking is. So let's get right to it. So here is the west side of Colorado Springs. Typically, it's just going to be anything that's west of I-25. That's how we're going to consider it west side of Colorado Springs. Now, typically, when people say west side, they mainly refer to this area right here, but I still consider like Rock Rimmon as west side Colorado Springs. But we'll do a different video that goes in deep to Rock Rimmon and Flying Ranch over here and kind of Garden of the Gods area. But Garden of the Gods is actually right here, which is one of the awesome attractions to the west side of Colorado Springs. We also have, Manitou Springs. There's the Manitou Incline right here. Plus, there's Red Rocks Open Space, really good for walking or biking. And they even have a really cool dog park right there as well. Speaking of dog parks, Bear Creek Dog Park is right here off of 8th Street. This is a really good dog park to go and check out. And they also have some soccer fields on there as well. And so on the topic of hiking, there's also down here, this is kind of west side as well. It's not like the Broadmoor is what we would call this area. But Cheyenne Boulevard runs right through here and goes into Cheyenne Canyon. And there's some really good hiking trails right here. Seven Bridges is a really good one. St. Mary's Falls I've done. That one's really cool too. We also have the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, which is really fun to go and take the kids. You can go and check out all the animals. Really fun thing to do all year round. Now, where are some of the good spots to be living that are near restaurants on the west side? There's not really a ton of shopping that goes on the west side of Colorado Springs, mainly because there's no malls. It's mainly like little boutiques, grocery stores, and like breweries and like restaurants and food places that you're going to be finding here on the west side. And so OCC, is what we call Old Colorado City, really cool, very historic area of Colorado Springs, but right through the middle of it is Colorado Avenue that runs directly through all the way, and it kind of merges in here with, we can go over to Manitou Springs. The Crystal Park Cantina is a really good Mexican food restaurant place, and it's more Manitou area, but I would say one of the best ones in Colorado Springs, and I really like it. Another good one is going to be Vaqueros. That's up north off of like Briargate area and Interquest. That's a really good one as well. But right here on Colorado Avenue, starting at like 21st all the way to like 31st, like basically 10 blocks of just a bunch of food and restaurants, and Mother Muffs is really good. Bonton's Cafe I really like. And at this park right here, the Bancroft Park, they will have some live music here sometimes, but this whole entire like area will kind of be blocked off from driving, and they'll do like certain events will be held down there, and they'll block everything off, and they'll have vendors that will pop up, and basically be a large farmer's market. But every Saturday in the summer, I think it starts in like May all the way to October, where they'll do a farmer's market every Saturday morning. And those are really cool. Tons of people show up. A really good time to kind of get outside and do some shopping. Now we're going to talk about the types of homes that are in each of these areas. I own a duplex that is up here on this side. Kind of Sonderman Park is right in between, which Sonderman Park is another cool area to go and kind of do some hiking and more walking or biking through. It's nothing too strenuous. It's more of like a leisure walk through some cool trees with some nice views. And everywhere on the west side has really cool views of Pikes Peak, which is another cool thing that you can go and do on the west side within probably something to get there. It probably takes like 30 minutes to go to Manitou in order to make it to Pikes Peak. But these homes up here in this area will be a little bit newer. Mine was built in 1986, and you can find some that are kind of sporadic throughout this area where there was just a lot that was built on in 1980s is typically what I see them in. But most often you'll find something that's built in the year 1900. The foundation's either going to be like rock solid, like they just, slammed that thing with cement and like redid it over the years and it's like really, really good. Or it's going to be on like rocks and cement and it's going to be a little shaky and you're probably going to have foundation problems. So that's the number one thing you're going to want to check out here on the west side is foundation. Also, not a lot of properties are going to have air conditioning unless they had a mini split system added or they did get it added, because a lot of boiler systems are in the area and it just runs off of the hot water, which still works pretty good. It's just something that you got to be aware of, or at least hope they made some type of change since it was built in the year 1900. The oldest home I've probably seen is 1897, 1895, and those ones, I mean, they're really, really cool. They have a ton of character, but you just have to be aware of what you're getting yourself into. Old homes have a lot of problems with, plumbing if it's not updated, electrical if it's not updated. Like knob and tube electrical is really bad and can cause fires, so you're going to want to get that updated. As well as the windows. A lot of the windows are still going to be very old, and kind of the air is just going to go right through them, and you're not really going to keep your home either warm or cold depending on the season. And most of those homes in the 1900s will kind of be in this area, right along Old Colorado City on Colorado Avenue and Pikes Peak, kind of running through here is where most of those will be. Up north in Pleasant Valley area, there'll be some newer homes in like the 50s and 60s that are built. They'll have a little bit more square footage and lot size as well, which should be like some better single family homes, but they'll still be probably pretty expensive, more than the ones on near Colorado Avenue would be. They would probably be around 600,000 for a home in Pleasant Valley, and it might not even be fully updated either. A lot of the homes in OCC, they will be priced around, if it's like a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, it'll be probably 350,000, and then once you get to like 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, they'll go up to 400 and 500,000 very quickly, depending on how recent it was renovated. And house and cottages and duplexes are very common in this area. I like the house and cottages a little bit better because they'll be more separated, but they'll be at 750,000 is probably like the minimum of where you'll see them at. Duplexes will probably be around 500,000 to 600,000 depending on how recently renovated it's been and the size of it as well. Most common are 2-bedroom, 1-baths, but if you can find one that's a little bit newer, that's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, that's really awesome and more on the rare side, so definitely worth paying a higher premium for that type of property. Now we're going to go to south of Interstate 24, and along Interstate 24, there's a bunch of like restaurants, shops, tire stores. There's a garage store that's along here. Mainly just like commercial and industrial businesses that are along this side, and a few restaurants sprinkled in here and there. But over here, we won't go too far south into the Broadmoor area, but this section right here is kind of like a little hidden gem. I like this area up off of 26 better than anything that's more down south over here, mainly because we have Gold Camp right here, but there is a lot of industrial and commercial properties in this area, mainly around this section, and so you're kind of intermixed with that type of a business going on, as well as you're living right next to it. So you just get a ton of cross traffic, and sometimes you don't want that type of a business that you're living right next to. So that's just one thing to be in consideration when you're on this side of Interstate 24. But you still do have some awesome views, and there's a really good biking trails right through here too, and you can get to Red Rock Canyon open space very quickly. Now for the schools in this area, it'll mainly be District 11, kind of through this middle section area. But once you get more south, it goes into the Broadmoor, and you have Cheyenne Mountain High School, which is right around here in this area is where Cheyenne Mountain High School is. And Cheyenne Mountain High School is one of the best high schools in all of Colorado, and Colorado Springs is probably one of the best public high schools as well. And probably one of my favorite things of why I love the west side of Colorado Springs is the feel of it, and because it actually feels like you're in Colorado compared to up north or on the east side. You see the mountains, but it's like, there's not many trees near you. You don't have the old charm like a lot of the homes have. And so just having that character in the homes, all the trees and the mountain views, and it's more hilly on the west side as well, just really gives that feel like I'm in Colorado and I can get hiking very quickly. And I like the access that you have to restaurants and other places that are very close on the west side of town. So if you are interested in finding a property there or finding a home or a duplex or something that you want to live in, definitely let me know. I'm happy to help you out.